I was born in this house, like my other two siblings. We all were born here. And I grew up in this house. And because my mother never ventured out, seldom ventured out on the other side, the Bahar ke kamre, so called, we sort of stayed with her. So all my memories of growing up in India are associated with this house. So this is the house I keep on going back to. And this is the window here, where my sister said she looked at the world. And this is the road from Delhi to Aligarh. And this is the Neem ka ped. And this corner is here. And this is another big tree. And this is, we had a tank here with the goldfish. And one of the fish, I don't know, a cake of soap fell in the tank. It was a huge tank. And all the fishes died. So we made a little machli ki cover to the graveyard. And then this is where, I couldn't remember the name of the tree which grew here. It was cooler. I don't know what it's called in English. I think it's family of, Pakistan changed, the Muslim society a lot, especially people who came from India. They left their values and lots of things behind because I remember when my father moved to Lahore and I went to visit him, I was so shocked that he went shopping. He went to a store to pick a few things because I had never seen my father go to a shop. But he just went and picked up the things, and I was very sad also because that side of my father I had never seen. And I think this is the decision I know he regretted for the rest of his life, moving to Pakistan. It did hurt him a lot. But I still don't know what, because I was not there and, we don't talk about those things. You can always explain things. And I didn't ask him because I didn't want to hurt him. There were rumors that Aligarh will be razed to the ground. It will be burned. So I do remember one night that we heard some noise and we went out and we could see far away some villages working. So everybody collected in our house and we didn't know what to expect, We had never experienced violence, but we were scared, But then nothing happened and they went home. So we didn't see any violence, The only time, I think it was after the partition, it was my mother's bright idea that maybe we should go to Pakistan for safety, at least until the things settled down. And we went through Daryaganj and we could see dead bodies and the stench of rotting bodies. And my sister says that she saw somebody, on a bicycle with a sword. But, at that age, you don't remember. So for years, I had a love-hate relationship with Aligarh because I wouldn't go, because I thought it has hurt me a lot. Like partition, like Pakistan. All these relationships are very complicated in my life. But I don't know how to explain it. I do see my sister who grew up in India, and sometime, in certain Diwali or Raksha Bandhan or Holi, she was telling me that her other nephews come by and they always make fun of her because she's glued to the TV. Because for her, it's home. Because for me, she's home, and I'm, a home home in a country which she lost. But, that's why I'm very fortunate, nobody in my family was died, nobody lost too much property, but these are hidden hurts which stay with you. Because when you go back and if someone says, at one time it was very common. And if you're wearing a shalwar kameez, which is a Punjabi dress, it's not a Muslim dress, it's not a Pakistani dress. Oh, you look like a Pakistani, or are you a Pakistani? And it really doesn't matter, but I think I'm very sensitive to it because I feel almost every Muslim in India is identified as a Pakistan sympathizer. And I find it very hurtful that my loyalty is somebody can question my loyalty. But then I didn't know what was to come. If you ask me to draw, or of course now my hand is not steady, but I can chisel a very thin line, as you can. So I'm much more comfortable with the chisel than with the pen. And I like the residue, so you can't mistake it for an intaglio or for a silk screen. And this is the tree. खिड़की जिसमें झांक कर हमने ज़िंदगी गुजारना सीखा. She looked out of this window. And then this is also, is fallen apart. And she wrote, हम रहने वाले हैं उसी उजड़े दयार के. That is, this is the front, and the half of the house was for men, where my father had all the very Western drawing room, his study, and there was one bedroom for my grandfather. And the back of the house, which you see in the floor plan, was the women's quarter, the Parda quarter, where we lived like regular Muslim ladies, sat on the floor with white sheets, and there was a huge courtyard, and that's where we slept under the stars. And I always say I dreamt my life under those stars. And this is the end of the courtyard. And this is the wall which I have drawn often. And it doesn't look that, but when I was little, it looked very high. But it has been changed. It was not like this. So after that, I sort of closed the book, and houses are made of people, families. They are not made of bricks. Yes, like the Palestinian poet Mahmoud. He recently died. Darwish said, "I make houses in words," and I always say I make houses in lines. Memory is selective, as we all know. This will, but winter I don't know. We were just sort of, we will hide in the bedrooms with little fire braziers. So the servant will bring and put it in the room. I think this should do. Otherwise it will be too big. So this is the Seine. This is the courtyard. They were what you call kiaris. And this is the servant quarters, which opened inside and outside. And then this is the veranda. This, what did I do? And this was the Bawarchi Khana. This was the Deuri, Darwaza. This was the door. I don't have to look at it. This I know. And I think you can finish the drawing for me. And then again, I think this was the baranda. And these were the rooms. Chandni ka kamra, because there was always a white sheet on the floor. This was much light, with the white flooring, white everything. It was a very simple house. I think most of the houses, and this house was bought by Sir Syed for his staff. It didn't belong to us, but for us this was another godam, a little one. I think this is not here.